What's up, guys? It's Jacob Rodriguez, and I just want to welcome you all to Rod's Radio, a basketball podcast that dives into everything basketball, from NBA to college. I just want to thank you guys for listening and supporting. It really means a lot. And remember, OTO, baby, overcome the odds. What's up, y'all? Jacob here, J-Rod, Rod, whatever you want to call me. We back at it again. Another episode of Rod's Radio. Episode 13. Let's get it, y'all. Today we got a lot to talk about. As we know, the All-Star reserves have been announced. Who was snubbed? We'll be talking about that today. The Boston Celtics. What's going on with them? They have a lot of problems, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it. Also, we're going to be talking about teams that deserve recognition. The teams I have hated on, and now they will get my praise. Also, we're going to be talking about the things that have made me mad this week. There have been a lot of things that make me mad. I'm a nice person, but this week, I've been angry, and we're going to be talking about what exactly has made me feel this way. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Just this past Tuesday, the All-Star reserves have been announced for the 2021 All-Star Game. For the West, we got Chris Paul, Paul George, Damian Lillard, Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, Zion Williamson, and Anthony Davis. For the West, I wasn't really mad about the selections. Not really. But Twitter had a frenzy over this. Everybody was like, where's Devin Booker? Devin Booker got snubbed again? Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. But I'm sitting here like, what? Devin Booker got snubbed? Devin Booker is not even the best player on his team. And people may be like, bro, you're crazy. You're stupid. What are you talking about? Are the Suns the same team without Chris Paul? Are they? I don't think so. The Suns would be a 10th seed at best if Chris Paul was not on the team. Devin Booker's averaging 25 a game, 3.6 rebounds a game, and 4.3 assists. He's playing 34 minutes a game, shooting almost 50% from the field, and 37 from three. Don't get me wrong. Devin Booker is one of the best shooting guards in this league. No doubt. There's no doubt. You can't argue that. But Devin Booker's not the best player on his team. Look what Chris Paul has done for this Suns team. He's averaging 16 a game, 5 rebounds, and 9 assists. Those are quite the stats. Only playing 32 minutes a game, shooting 49% from the field, and 38 from three. Chris Paul is one of the best point guards to ever play this game. And if anybody deserves to be an all-star from that Suns team, Chris Paul is the man. Now, AD was hurt, so they gave Devin Booker an all-star selection. Devin Booker will replace Anthony Davis in this year's all-star game. And I tweeted out, can everybody stop crying now? Because I didn't understand why it was such a big deal. Now, I get if Devin Booker was averaging 30 a game and the number one reason why the Suns are in the position they are today, I get that. But come on now. He's the second most important player and second best player on that team. There was no need for everybody to go crazy for him not being an all-star. But regardless, he's an all-star. He's a great player. I'm not mad at Devin Booker for getting the all-star selection. I'm not. Maybe it could have went to DeMar DeRozan. That could have been an argument. I'm surprised more people weren't mad about that. We'll talk about the Spurs a little bit later, but they're one of the best teams in the West right now. Now, if we look at the West, Paul George deserves it. Damian Lillard, MVP convo. Donovan Mitchell deserves it. Rudy Gobert, debatable. But the best team in the West right now deserves it. Zion Williamson. His first all-star selection. Am I mad at this? Not really. It's more of I expected it just because it's Zion. But he's averaging 25, 7, and 3. The man's a freak. No debate. He's shooting 61% from the field. 61%. That's crazy. Actually crazy. 61% on 16 shots a game. Jesus Christ. He's going to be a great player. But I did have a problem with what Brandon Ingram said about Zion Williamson. They asked about Brandon Ingram playing with Zion Williamson, how he felt about it. Brandon Ingram said, I never played with a player as talented as me. He's a generational talent. I'm sorry. Did you guys hear that? Let me repeat it again. He said, I never played with a player as talented as me. I love Brandon Ingram. He's one of my favorite players in this league. But what the hell is he talking about? What is he talking about? In case you guys don't know, Brandon Ingram played for the Lakers while LeBron James was on that team. Brandon Ingram wasn't nearly the player he is today on the Lakers. So for him to say that, it's just crazy. I get it. He's sticking out for his teammate. I get it. But seriously, man. Really? Another former LeBron teammate takes shots at the king. This is similar to what Kyrie Irving said. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I get why Brandon Ingram said it, but it didn't need to be said. Moving on, though. In the Eastern Conference, the All-Star reserves for the East are James Harden, Julius Randle, Zach LaVine, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Ben Simmons, and Nikola Vucevic. And Domantas Sabonis will take his place on the team, while Jason Tatum will take his starting spot. Now, for the East, I had some disagreements. I'm not going to lie. Thank God Sabonis got on that team. Because if he didn't, you would have heard an angry Rod today. So much respect to him and everybody who voted for him. But in the Eastern Conference, Ben Simmons, questionable. Very questionable. Why is he an all-star? He's averaging 15 a game with 8 and 8. Not bad. It's not bad. We know what Ben Simmons brings to the table. We know it. But I would think Tobias Harris is an all-star before Ben Simmons, in my opinion. I mean, Joel Embiid's a no-question all-star. He's in the MVP conversation, if not the current MVP right now. But Ben Simmons, come on now. I would have given it to Trae. Trae Young deserves it. But I know the all-star team takes a certain amount of guards and a certain amount of forwards. I get it. But Trae Young averaging 26-4 and almost 10? Come on now. Come on now. The only person I think that shouldn't have been on this team was Ben Simmons. And Nikola Vucevic. Like, what? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Nikola Vucevic. The Magic right now are 13 and 21. Nikola Vucevic is averaging 24, 11, and almost 4 a game. It's not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all. I'm not going to sit here and hate on Nikola Vucevic. But there's a man named Bam Adebayo that deserved to be an all-star. He did. 19, 10, and 5. The man's a more all-around player than Nikola Vucevic. A better defender than him. A better scorer. This year, the Miami Heat are struggling. They're getting back in their groove, though. And one person that was mad that Bam Adebayo didn't even make the team was Jimmy Butler. They asked Jimmy Butler to replace Kevin Durant in this year's All-Star game. Jimmy Butler declined. Butler declined. Because Bam wasn't selected. That's a real-ass teammate right there. Jimmy Butler is someone I want on my team. Because he puts others before himself. Much respect, man. So as far as people that got snubbed, I would say Bam. I would say Trae Young. We could make the case for DeMar DeRozan. We could. We'll be talking about DeMar and the Spurs later. But those are people that I got snubbed. Overall, the All-Star reserves look good. The All-Star draft will be taking place next week. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the All-Star game. It should be a good one, especially because they're going to be doing the same format as last year to make it more competitive and to pay tribute to the late, great Kobe Bryant. So I cannot wait for this. It's supposed to be exciting. I'm excited for it. You know, you got the dunk contest during halftime. I think the skills and three-point competition before the game should be a good one, man. I'm happy for it. Now, what is a disappointing Eastern Conference right now, there's one team that stands out, and it's the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics this year have been a bigger disappointment than the Miami Heat. Let me tell you why. The Celtics right now are 16-17. This is a team that lost to the Eastern Conference champions last year in the playoffs, the Miami Heat. Now, in the beginning of the season, there was praise for Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's so good. Jaylen Brown's better than Jason Tatum. Where's all the hype now? Where's all the hype? Jaylen Brown's still doing good, but there is no talk about the Boston Celtics, good or bad. Nobody's talking about it. And it's a shame. It is, because there's one reason why the Boston Celtics suck right now. And it needs to be addressed. It does. The problem is Brad Stevens and or Danny Ainge. What has Brad Stevens done since he's been hired? Let's take a look back. 2013, he gets hired. 2014, they finished 25-57, the 12th best record in the Eastern Conference. The following year, 2014-15, they finished 7th seed. They lose in the first round. They get swept by the Cavs. The next year, they get the 5th seed. They lose in the first round to the Hawks, 4-2. The Hawks were good that year. 2016-17, they get the 1st seed in the Eastern Conference. They eventually lost in the conference finals to the Cavaliers, 4-1. Nobody was beating LeBron. 2017-18, LeBron's last year in the Eastern Conference. They get 2nd in the East. They lose in the conference finals to the Cavs, 4-3. They were 1 game away from the NBA Finals. 1 game away. But they couldn't put away the king. Understandable. But LeBron leaves the East. In 2018-19, they finished 4th in the East. They lose in the conference finals to the Bucks, 4-1. And fast forward to last year, they finished 3rd in the East, and they lose in the conference finals to the Heat, 4-2. Brad Stevens is going on 8 years as an NBA head coach. 8 years. What accomplishments does he have for this Celtics team? Over the last 3 years, he has had one of the best duos in the NBA. And he has never reached an NBA Finals with that team. So why is he still the coach? Why isn't he on the hot seat? Could it be the strong relationship he has with Danny Ainge? I'm not saying it's all Brad Stevens' fault, because they haven't always had the best team. Danny Ainge hasn't done anything for this roster. Nothing. I've been saying it for the longest time that the Celtics need a big man. They do. You can't win a championship with Daniel Tice. You can't. Or Grant Williams. Come on now. Come on. A current NBA player said you can't win a championship with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. You can't win a championship with those two as a duo. I agree. The Celtics need to open their eyes and realize that they have two of the best young talents in the NBA. But one of them is going to lead you to a championship. Only one. And that's Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum is the closest thing we have to Kobe Bryant. Closest thing. There's no reason why the Celtics can't come out and say, this is Jason Tatum's team. We're going to build around him and just him. You can't win with both of them. Trade Jaylen Brown. Fire Brad Stevens. Danny Ainge, step down, please. It's time. Enough is enough. You can't build this team anymore. Danny Ainge, I know. Former Celtics player, former champion. I get it. But if you're in the Celtics ownership, you got to open your eyes and realize that you can't let Jason Tatum waste away in his prime. You can't have Jason Tatum leave you, because after that, you're just going to go back to being a sorry-ass franchise. Celtics, I hope you're listening. Save your franchise before it's too late. On a happier note, let's talk about the teams that deserve some praise. The New York Knicks, right now, they are tied for the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference. New York basketball is back. They're doing great. RJ Barrett's doing his thing. Julius Randle, he is a beast. 23, 11, and 5. No one can tell him anything. An all-star this year. And they just got Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose doing his thing. Derrick Rose leading that young group of guys is crazy. Tom Thibodeau, I applaud you. You're leading this team to greatness. Can the Knicks make a playoff run to the second round? Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what they do in the playoffs. Because the Knicks could be a dark horse this season. They could. But I don't know how the Eastern Conference playoff picture is going to look until after the All-Star break. That's when I'll know who's legit and who is just stunned. Because another team that deserves some praise are the Chicago Bulls. Yep, the Chicago Bulls, my hometown, Chicago Bulls. Right now they're 15 and 17. And that gives them the 8th seed in the East. Crazy, right? Zach LaVine, finally an all-star. 28 a game, 5 and 5. Legendary season he is having. No one has put up those numbers since MJ. So, he deserves his credit. But everybody else on this team, questionable. Kobe White, inconsistent. Laurie, inconsistent. Wendell Carter, he's been all right. The Bulls are having a winning record. There are little to no vets on this team. Patrick Williams only giving you 10 a game. Thaddeus Young is the closest thing to a veteran on this team. And I thought they'd be dead last in the East right now. Or close to it. So I applaud them. I do. Will the Chicago Bulls make the playoffs? It's hard to tell. I still have a bet where they're not supposed to win 30 games. I hope they don't win 30 games. I hope they don't. But they're on pace to get like 35, 40 wins. We'll see. We'll see what happens, man. I can't say these teams have proved me wrong yet. I can't. It's too early. Still too early. But they're doing work. Another team is the San Antonio Spurs. San Antonio right now. The 5th seed in the Western Conference, 17 and 12. DeMar DeRozan's giving you 24 and 7. Just got a big win over the Pelicans. They're huge, man. They're good. LaMarcus Aldridge, in the decline of his career, still giving you almost 15 a game. Rudy Gay, giving you 11. Kendall Johnson has been huge for them, giving you 14. DeJounte Murray is giving you 15 a game. This team's not that bad. They're not bad. Can they stay consistent post All-Star break? We'll see. But so far, I'll give them the credit. DeMar DeRozan could have been an All-Star snub. I'm happy for the Spurs. Maybe they're finally turning it back around after missing the playoffs last season. But we'll see. Now, it's time for me to get mad. It's time. Because there has been too much shit that has ticked me off this week. For starters, the NBA refs. Now, I had a conversation with my brother about flopping in the NBA. Is it good or bad for the league? He was trying to tell me that flopping is all the players' fault. It's their fault why these fouls are being called. But I blame the refs. I do. And this week has shown I was right. Earlier this week, the Clippers took on the Nets. The game went down to the wire. And in Kawhi's final shot to win the game, could have been an and one, but the refs called an offensive foul. Now, if you guys haven't seen this play, I suggest you guys go look it up. Because that was just crazy. Yes, James Harden flopped. It's not James Harden's fault. It's got to be the refs. It's got to be the refs. Come on. It ticked me off. But the Nets came in and took over LA. They beat both the Lakers and the Clippers. Good props to them. But the Clippers should have won that game. Now, if that wasn't enough already, Giannis drove baseline on Karl Towns and dunked on him. Flexed a little bit, looked in his direction, and Giannis was given a T. For why? For what? For what? No reason at all. It's just crazy how soft the refs be. It's not the league. I hate when people call the league soft. It's the refs. The refs had gotten soft. Not the players, the refs. Also, Draymond Green. Draymond Green got tossed with 2 technical fouls, up by 2 points with 9 seconds left. The Hornets ended up winning by 2. It's just crazy. Now the refs are swinging games. For what? For what? To prove a point? We know Draymond Green's attitude. We know it already. He plays with a lot of emotion. We know it. The refs let him get away with a lot of stuff that he says. I get it. There's no reason somebody should be tossed when there is 2 seconds left in the game. And it's that close. There's no reason. The refs need to do better. I call on the NBA to take action against these refs because it's ridiculous. I'm tired of it. Tired of it. Something else that made me mad, the Lakers. The Lakers suck. The Lakers are so bad. Literally, they are so bad. And they're 23-11. They have the 3rd seed in the West. But they suck. They suck, man. I'm not going to lie. Their last 10 games, they're 5-5. They got a much-needed win against the Portland Trailblazers. But, man, it's sad. It's sad how bad they've been. I can't even argue LeBron is first in MVP anymore. I can't. And for all the people that are saying that we shouldn't be worried about the Lakers, I hope not. I hope not. Because I'm not worried to the extent that we're going to lose in the finals because we don't have AD right now. We just got Dennis Schroeder back, so that's a plus. But still, the Lakers, without those 2 players, just people need to step up. They need to play their games. Kyle Kuzma, come on. Caldwell Pope, come on. Can we play Taylor Tucker consistently, please? The Lakers piss me off, man. They do. Piss me off. And we need to do better. Their next 3 games are against Golden State, Phoenix, and Sacramento. Those all should be wins. All of them. All of them. So I hope the Lakers do better because if they piss me off again this week, we're going to have problems. I know the Lakers just signed Damon Jones, but what the hell? Why? If we don't go sign DeMarcus Cousins, we waive Quinn Cook, get better players than Damon Jones. Come on now. Damon Jones, really? The Lakers piss me off, man. Do better, LA. Do better. And the final thing that has pissed me off this week is that we still don't have Kobe Bryant as the NBA logo. Why hasn't it been changed already? Why not? What's the holdup? What is the goddamn holdup? I mean, already a year has passed since Kobe Bryant has died. And there's no reason why we still should be having this conversation because he should have already been put as the logo. Kyrie Irving posted on Instagram. He posted a photo of Kobe Bryant as the logo, saying, gotta happen. I don't care what anybody says. Black Kings built the league. He's not lying. He's not. The NBA would not be the same today if it weren't for black people. And it's true. Kobe Bryant, the Mamba mentality, deserves to be the logo. I don't care what anybody says. It's about damn time, NBA. What's the holdup? Stop it. Come on. Make him the logo already. God damn it. I know you gave him the All-Star MVP award, but come on now. Give him the logo. You guys have never even said that the logo was Jerry West. Everybody knows it's Jerry West. Jerry West even said, make Kobe Bryant the logo. It's time to change it. Come on now. Do better, NBA. Let's go. The clock is ticking. So that will wrap up this week's episode of Rod's Radio. I appreciate everyone who listens to me, all my supporters. If you want to become a supporter, make sure you guys go to anchor.fm/rodsradio/supporter. Any donation is appreciated, and all donations will go into my podcast and back out to you guys. A Rod's Radio giveaway is on the way. Stay tuned for that. Also, I have launched my clothing brand, OTO WorldWide. Make sure you guys go cop an OTO Logo t-shirt today at OTOWorldWide.com. Follow the clothing brand on Instagram at Overcome the Odds and follow on Twitter at OTO WorldWide. Again, make sure you guys follow my podcast Instagram and Twitter at Rods_radio. That is at RODS_RADIO. It's crazy. We're almost 3 months into 2021, man. I'm excited for these next 9 months. Big things are happening. Make sure you guys keep supporting. Stay tuned in. Keep listening. Make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you guys leave likes on SoundCloud, Spotify. Save this podcast into your library. Make sure you guys keep supporting, man. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And with that being said, I only got one thing to say. Ride out.